Advocacy, financial support, and education are provided to York County thanks to the efforts of the Cultural Alliance of York. Hi, I'm Tanya Foster with CBS 21. The creative community of York has grown over the last decade thanks to the Cultural Alliance. More than $7.5 million and over $2 million in-kind services have been distributed to 8 partners to assist with operations. Listen to what they had to say about being involved with the Cultural Alliance.
The Cultural Alliance has afforded us the opportunity to use our allocated funds for anything necessary to our organization's success. In addition, the Cultural Alliance has helped guide and grow our organization in administrative fields and community opportunities we may not have had otherwise. Our dancers, parents, and faculty of the Greater York Dance and Mid-State Ballet thank the Cultural Alliance, the campaign solicitors, and all of the donors.
Funding from Cultural Alliance, because we are all volunteer driven, frees up our artists and our creative educators to be free from fundraising efforts and are able to concentrate more on the teaching aspects and the development of the curriculum for all of our programming, workshops, classes for both youth and adult.
The Cultural Alliance sustains us on a day-to-day basis. We run many cultural programs with children from all over York County and South Central Pennsylvania and are very grateful for the support of the Alliance.
All symphony orchestras are challenged because supporting a symphony is an expensive venture. Our Cultural Alliance provides about 5% of our budget, and we're very appreciative of that, and it adds to our contributed funds. That's so important because we need to have a strong operating environment, operating budget, to allow us to pursue what is really an important part of our mission, and that's educational outreach to children.
The support for York County didn't stop there. With lots of thought and input, the Cultural Alliance designed the Creative Impact Awards. In their pilot year, $70,000 was granted to 8 agencies and individuals. And here's what they had to say about receiving funds that made their dreams of impacting their community come true.
When these Creative Impact Awards were established, I think this is one of the greatest things to help the arts and the music in the community of York. What we've been trying to do is to promote music amongst the young people of the community. They have helped to give us the means to bring in some groups from out of the area to pay their expenses. And also one of the big things that we're doing, as I said again, is trying to take some of the best musicians on the East Coast and have the young people exposed to them.
Cultural Alliance and I started to work together actually just about a year ago, and we had an idea for a local governor's school. The Cultural Alliance had a grant that was available, so we applied for that and got the grant, and we were able to hire 2 really outstanding artists. So it was a nice way to get the thing started, to put that seed money in and make sure it all happened. And now it's time for the rest of the community to get involved and really give these kids the kind of background and education that they need.
Our relationship with Cultural Alliance probably began about a little over a year ago when we heard about the Creative Impact Awards. At that time we were trying to open our Heritage Museum of New Freedom, and as we were contemplating that, we were thinking about how do we keep our museum exhibits interesting and fresh for our museum visitors. We're also trying to think about ways to increase our presence in the community. Because of the generosity of the Cultural Alliance and its sponsors, as well as the corporate sponsors that we were able to go out and get on our side of the proposal, we were actually able to leverage our organizational funds 20 to 1. And without that kind of support, pulling off a project like we had, producing professional videos, creating a theater, getting a kiosk and programming it and getting it built, just was beyond the financial abilities of our organization.
Our relationship with the Cultural Alliance started about a year ago when we heard about the grant process. We knew we had an idea that would be wonderful to acclimate the students with old-fashioned keyboard technology and new-fashioned iPad technology. We had talked about working with the students that way, and the Cultural Alliance had a wonderful idea for us to work with us on that. The biggest benefit for me is that we are able to offer them the technology through this grant that we received. The biggest benefit for them is that now the ideas that they had are not just ideas, they've come to fruition. They're created.
We started out with one idea, and it was a very small idea before we went for the award. But it gave us the opportunity to think bigger, to think outside of the box, to think more creatively, and to bring more players to the table.
It's been fascinating to see how what started out as two schools planning fairly traditional playgrounds with, you know, going through the catalog and picking out jungle gyms and things like that, how it has transformed the presence of the artists in the design process.
It occurred to us that we had all this opportunity to do something even bigger than that, not just plunk down some fun playground equipment, but to also provide a greater benefit to the community around us. So we looked at greening the space and improving the streetscape and partnering with artists to create a really creative and unusual space in our corner of downtown. And the Creative Impact Awards really allowed us to think bigger about how we could do that.
Without the Cultural Alliance funding, I would not have been able to create the Busy Bee mosaic installation at the Foresight Vision Center. It gives the children at the center, they're children with visual impairments, so their sight ranges from total blindness to some can see color, some can see black and white. It varies greatly. So the Cultural Alliance has allowed those children to have an experience with mosaic work, which they probably would not have been able to have in any other venue in their life. And I have to thank all of you, because I have chills. I would not have been able to work with these kids if it wasn't for the Cultural Alliance grant. And my thought going into this was, you know, how can I teach these kids? I want to reach these kids, I want to reach them, I want to reach them. And I get in there and I interacted with them that first time. I got back in my car. I had no idea how they affected me. I wasn't thinking about myself. So for me, that exchange, the dialogue between those kids, it was a gift. It was a true gift. Thank you.
Now, whether your dream is to inspire with the love of music or enabling someone less fortunate to experience the gift of art, your generous gift to the Cultural Alliance is a smart investment that goes to work immediately, creating a community where you, your family, and business want to stay, grow, and thrive.